If you're in the market to buy or sell a home and you're using financing of any kind, then a home appraisal is going to be part of the process of getting to the closing table and making the sale. But home appraisers aren't always looking at value. They are looking at the condition of the home and sometimes things that can come up that will derail the sale. So in today's video, I'm going to give you the answer to the question, what hurts a home appraisal? I have 5 surprising factors that can affect a home appraisal, and we're going to get started right. Hello and welcome back to All Things Tennessee with me, Ben Barreto, your local real estate pro and relocation expert for East Tennessee. Listen, if you're thinking of East Tennessee and you need a realtor, or you just have questions about the area, about real estate, and some of that stuff's not covered in this channel, you can't find the answers online, don't hesitate to reach out. My contact information is in the description. It's also floating around right here. And while you're here watching this video, and you think you're getting some value out of it, or just for funsies, make sure to like this video and hit that subscribe button. Okay, with that out of the way, let's jump into the video topic. A critical aspect of buying a home or selling a home involves the home appraisal, which typically occurs in the middle of the closing process. Once an offer has been made and the seller has accepted it, the details of the transaction will go to the lender, who the borrower is partnered with. Before the lender underwrites the loan, they will order an appraisal to determine the value of the property to make sure that it matches or exceeds the sale price. Really, so it matches or exceeds the borrowing amount. So what is a home appraisal? Now most of you probably know what that is, but just in case you don't, a home appraisal occurs when a fully licensed professional appraiser visits your home to determine what its true value is. This professional will identify the value based on factors like curb appeal, market conditions, home amenities, comparable home sales. Home appraisals are typically very accurate. However, there's still an element of opinion or subjectiveness when it comes to the appraisal your home receives. If the appraised value of your home is lower than you believe it's worth, you could seek a second opinion from another appraiser. When selling a home, you can also obtain an appraisal before you even decide to list your house on the market, which is always a good idea because then you're confident about the sales price and you have something to offer to the buyers. And this can help you price your home competitively. As for the buyer, a home appraisal occurs when the loan application is being processed in underwriting. This is done to ensure that the lender doesn't provide the buyer with any more money than the home is worth. If you forfeit on your payments also, they want to know what the home is worth so that they can list that house on the market and get their money back. So why is the appraisal value important? Now that's an obvious answer to this question, but there are several reasons why an appraisal is important when you are attempting to market and sell a home. If the value of your home is higher than you anticipated, you would have the ability to increase the home's listing price without issue. Keep in mind that lenders are only able to provide loans to match the home's appraised value, which is why knowing the appraised value of the home is essential to making offers, to putting it on the market, to receiving offers, to negotiating over the price. So now that you have a refresher on what a home appraisal is and why it's important, let's discuss the issues that can come up and why. Now there are many factors that affect a home appraisal. The condition of the home, how updated it is, if it's been renovated anytime soon. Today, we're going to discuss some not so obvious things that can affect the home appraisal. So there are many things that an appraiser looks at during their visit. Since many factors can impact the value and it's a subjective but strategic process, just having a decent home in a hot market, it doesn't guarantee that you're going to get the price that you want as a seller, or that the home is worth what the buyer wants to make an offer at or promises to pay. Some of those things are obvious, like, is the house updated? What is the paint fading, or is it new, fresh? Are the bathrooms updated? What's the kitchen layout like? What are the appliances like? How old is the HVAC? Things like that. But there are other things that they can look at as well, especially for government-backed loans like FHA and VA loans. that can be considered safety issues and are more than likely no longer allowable under today's building codes. With that said, we're going to touch on those issues, the issues that can be signs of an unsafe home. So let's get into that. Worn mortar between bricks in the exterior of a house or even retaining walls. This is the first thing we're going to talk about. Anything that could indicate structural issues in a home is a major red flag for real estate appraisers who are checking out the property for a long-term sustainability. Lenders won't be as enthusiastic about investing in properties if they think that there's a chance the house is going to crumble or the framework is going to collapse in a short period of time. The next thing we're going to look at is cracks and chips in paint on the exterior or even in the retaining walls. If you bought or sold a house built before 1978, then you know that lead-based paint is a big deal in real estate. Chip paint or crack paint are all signs that there could be possible lead-based paint in the paint. Since lead poisoning is a serious health concern, checking for the possibility of peeling or chip paint is a must for any appraiser who are completing appraisals for FHA, VA, and USDA financing. Appraisers cannot know if a home contains lead-based paint or not, and they're not going to test for it, and they're not required to. What they are going to do is point out that there is peeling paint, and these rules apply to both FHA, USDA, and VA appraisals, and they can also apply to some conventional appraisals. If an appraiser notes that there's peeling paint, then they're going to call it a health or safety concern, and they're going to halt the process of your funding until it's taken care of. Now, this rule applies mostly to paint on the exterior and on retaining walls, but it also applies to anything surface in the house. If there's chip paint on a door, if there's chip paint inside the crawl space, if there's chip paint in a bedroom, they're going to call it out and they're going to want it taken care of. Next up may surprise you, but this one I've seen hit a lot of homes, and that's missing handrails on stairs that exceed 36 inches in height. Over half of the deaths occurring in homes are poisoning. The second leading cause was falls, resulting in 29,100 deaths, or nearly a quarter of all home deaths in 2021. Current code requires that any step or platform higher than 36 inches requires a handrail or a guardrail. If you have a home that has stairs, inside or outside, or a deck that is above 36 inches, then you can probably expect the appraiser to call it out, especially for these government-backed loans, and force you to fix it in what they call subject to repairs. That the loan is subject to this repair being done, install handrails. The next thing we're going to look at are faulty doors, specifically faulty exterior doors. Faulty exterior doors are a security risk and also a safety risk. If it doesn't close properly, let's say it doesn't lock all the way, for example, then it's a security risk. If it's hard to open or almost impossible to open, then it's a safety issue. Depending on the issue with the door, it can also be a sign of structural foundation issues. If the house is starting to lean and the door frame is starting to get crooked, then that could affect the way the door closes. It doesn't have to be true, but if it raises the appraiser's eyebrows and they require a structural engineer to inspect the property before they sign off on the appraisal report, then it matters, right? Before getting into the last thing that can hurt a home appraisal, make sure to save my last video so you can watch it after you're done with this one. In that video, I show you one of the best places to live in Knoxville, and I point out the community of Bearden. You can watch that video by clicking right here, or you can follow the link in the description. Alright, the last thing we want to talk about are damp, wet, or odorous houses. A damp, wet, or odorous home is a huge sign of mold, water intrusion, and possible plumbing issues or HVAC issues, as well as bad windows and bad insulation. All of these are issues for a home appraisal and can hurt the value of your home and could halt the sales process. It's hard to smell something that you've been a part of or that you've lived in for many years. I mean, you can just ask anyone who owns a bunch of cats that have litter boxes in the house. You can smell it, but they can't. And they're going to look at you like you have a third eye when you tell them that their house smells funny or that they need to do something about the cat smell. Listen, all of these issues are easily avoidable if you take the time before listing your home to have it inspected, what I call a pre-inspection, a pre-listing inspection, and you can even get the house appraised, which will also help determine the best sales price for your home. Most of these can be fixed quickly and mostly cheaply, unless it's been neglected for a very long period of time. Then it may not be as cheap and as easy to fix. This is why hiring a professional like me to help you in the buying or selling of a home, that's why it's so important. It saves you time, it saves you money, and most importantly, it keeps you and your family safe. Well, hey, that's it for today's video. I apologize, I've been gone for a while, but been vacationing with the family, but I'm back now. I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for your support, and I will see you next week. Bye.